How to retire early without eating rice and beans every night. It's called a different, let's say the younger brother of the FIRE movement. Give me some comments, guys. How many of you are in the FIRE movement? How many of you were in the FIRE movement and have already retired? Very curious. I don't know. Could be a small part of my audience, could be a big one. So, what is the smaller brother of the FIRE movement? It's called Coast Fire. And hey, I'm just amazed here on this Memorial Day for an LA boy. Look at this lack of traffic. It's like a parking lot out there. And sorry I'm shouting a little bit because even though it's like a parking lot, it's still pretty noisy. So, the FIRE movement, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. There are different versions of that. One is called Fat FIRE. Fat FIRE is if you want to retire with $5 million or more, that's Fat FIRE. There's another one called Chubby FIRE. If you're retiring between $2 and $5 million, that is called Chubby FIRE. There is Lean FIRE. Lean FIRE is for those kind of probably like around moderate retirement, which our channel is. And if those of you are seeing me for the first time, my name is Duane. And I retired in 2021 on my birthday at 59 years old with a little over $500,000. If you think you might enjoy something like that, a retirement channel for people on moderate income, think about subscribing and like the video as well. So I was not in the FIRE movement. It just wasn't, I was aware of it, but it just wasn't what I followed, okay? So what is this rice and beans stuff? What are you talking about, Duane? It's called Coast Fire. Coast Fire, and the reason they call it like the rice and beans one is there was a lawyer who was making $250,000 a year. And he says he was living off rice and beans as he saved in the FIRE movement. Hence, rice and beans, Coast Fire. So what is Coast Fire? Coast Fire is front loading your savings early and then watching your savings grow with compound interest. You know what? I'm coming over here. I'm still amazed. I'm amazed at this virtual parking lot. And I'm sorry if I'm shouting a little bit, but yeah, like I said, it's kind of noisy. So Coast Fire, you start early. And let's say you stop saving at around 40 years old or something. You just let the magic of compounding take over. Look at that, guys. That's a parking lot. I'm going out there. I'm going to tailgate right in the middle of the 10 freeway right now with some rice and beans. So you stop saving, let's say around 40 years old. You let that grow with the magic of compounding. What do they do then? They get a job that is basically just something to pay for their daily bills, monthly bills, yearly bills, whatever. Could be a part-time job. It could be a full-time job, but pretty easy, right? Not something that doesn't really have to pay too much, not too demanding. And you know what? If you can take stress out of your life in leading up to retirement, by the time you get to retirement, you'll be so much healthier, so much happier, right? I just talked about this, or actually I have a video coming up about retiring happy and healthy because you didn't have to go through the stress, the responsibilities of some of these high-paying jobs. You know, it's a healthy way to go. So, this is usually good for someone in their 20s and 30s when they can start early. And then whenever they reach their target number, and the target number is calculated by certain formulas assuming what you will need when you get to retirement. Okay? So let's say they reach their target number at 40. Okay, stop scrimping. Just have that normal job that's not too stressful, and watch your savings grow through the lovely magic of compounding. Isn't that the greatest thing, guys? I mean, after you've been saving 10 years, 15 years, especially 20, you see that balance. It keeps growing and growing, right? Exponentially by the time you reach 20 years of saving. Isn't compounding awesome? It's the best thing. It's the best thing since eating with rice and beans. Now, if you follow this strategy, you may not be able to retire as early as some of the other advocates of the FIRE movement. Why? Because you stopped your really, really aggressive saving by 35, by 40, by 45, whatever your target date is. Okay? So, they may be retiring at 45 because they were just eating rice and beans up until they were 45. You may be working a little bit longer than that. Let's say early 50s, mid 50s. And that's okay. For these people, that's okay, because you know what they're doing? Once they stop their aggressive savings, they can live life. They don't have to worry so much about budgets. They've already done their aggressive savings. So they can enjoy life. Where a lot of these regular advocates of the FIRE movement, they can't. They are still scrimping until the day they retire. This sounds like a pretty good deal to me. If I was back in my 20s and 30s, this is something I might follow. Now, once you reach that target number, you're pretty much done. Like I said, you're taking an easy job. How do they calculate that target number? What the FIRE movement says is that you need 25 times your annual spend to retire early. Okay? Now, if you're retiring very early, you may need more than that 25 times your annual spend. Let's say, it's your annual spend is $40,000. You may need more than 25. If you're retiring later than, let's say, late 40s, 50, you'll need less than that 25 times. When I retired with a little over $500,000 at 59, my annual budget is like $2,800. Excuse me, my monthly budget $2,800. So that works out to about $33,000 a year. So I retired on 15 times my annual spend. I retired at 59. A lot of these FIRE people, they're retiring much earlier than that. So do they need 25? They might. Do they need more than 25? Some of these people you see, man, retiring in their 30s, late 30s. Yeah, you're going to need more than 25 times, probably. So that number is not written in stone. So, that is the Coast FIRE movement. What do you guys think? Leave me some comments. And again, if you are in the FIRE movement, leave me some comments. And guys, as always, please keep those comments coming. You wouldn't believe how many new subscribers, the first thing they say, one of the main reasons they subscribe to the channel is for the comments. How many great comments there are. You guys are teaching me stuff every single day, and I hope that you're getting some good stuff out of what I'm coming up with. What has worked for me, what has not. And again, I apologize for the shouting, but I got to get close to this amazing parking lot for me here in LA. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed because for 30 years, everything revolved around traffic. And to see it like this, I'm probably going to be up here for another 4 hours just sitting around with my rice and beans and watching. So guys, keep those comments coming, please. You're the lifeblood of my channel. And that is how I get new subscribers a lot of the time. It's not so much on what I'm putting out there. It's a lot of what you're putting into the comments. So please keep them coming, guys. And from a beautiful May gray day here in Southern California, as always, with our rice and beans, we got this.